Let me go to the Western region. And Natalia, we saw the NPP sweep a massive number of seats in the Western region back in 2016. Give us an idea about the atmosphere in the Western region now. And when we get to Natalia, we'll get the answer to that question. Let's go to Albert Sorry now, who is in the Upper East region. Another place, Albert, where the NPP pulled a number of surprises in 2016. How keenly followed is this primary this time around?
Yes, Daniel. So the main place to watch out for in the Upper East region is the Navrongo Central constituency. That is where we have Joseph Kofiada as the current member of parliament. Now he's being contested by the Upper East Regional Minister, Tangoba Abayage. And so a lot of people are anxious to see how that election is going to happen tomorrow. The two other places are Timpani and the Boko West constituencies. In Timpani, that is where we have Joseph Dindio Kwemka, who is the Deputy Attorney General. He is going unopposed. But then in Zebila, where that is Boko West, we have the current Member of Parliament, Frank Adongo Fuseni. He's being contested by John Kurugu, who is a PhD public health official. So these are the three places to watch out for in the Upper East region. They are the only three, actually. But Navrongo Central is the one that most people think is going to be keenly contested. And a lot of people are watching out for that.
And yes, we have seen Navrongo Central feature massively in our coverage of the elections. Tell us what the people are saying on the ground.
Well, Kofiada is, he's been a member of parliament for a long time. And Tangoba Abayage, the regional minister, is contesting him. Now, a lot of people think that she could pull a surprise. Some other people think that because of Kofiada's experience as a member of parliament, he'll be able to win the primary and contest one more time for Navrongo Central. So it's a mix of opinions as far as this election in Navrongo Central is concerned. Let's not forget Tangoba Abayage, since she became the regional minister. Before she became regional minister, she was Ghana's ambassador to Italy. And when she became Upper East regional minister, she brought what most people think is a difference to that office, because for the very first time, most people have access to a regional minister. In fact, you can easily tag her in a Facebook post and she will have the time to respond to you. So because of that, a lot of people feel, because of her closeness to the most ordinary people in the Upper East region, that might help her.
Right.
But let's not forget, Kofiada is also, a minister of state. And so because of that, his experience cannot be ruled out. And many people think that because of the many years serving as a member of parliament, he has that advantage and can use that to win the election. So it's going to be keenly contested tomorrow.
Robert, I can't wait to see how the die is cast tomorrow. Parker Wilson, I've already heard Bantama, I've already heard Menchia North, I've already heard Navrongo Central. Tomorrow is going to be a keen contest, isn't it?
It is going to be a keen contest. If you look at the individuals who have put themselves forward for re-election and also those who are seeking to contest the incumbent MPs, it tells you that indeed it's going to be a keenly contest tomorrow. And trust me, for JoyNews, we are going to give you all the coverage. In fact, we have our experienced presenters leading the coverage. We've lined up a number of political experts to come and give us a comprehensive analysis of the candidates who have put themselves forward to be elected or represent their constituents in Parliament. And so right from 7 a.m. tomorrow, way down to about 9 p.m., we are giving you a comprehensive coverage of the NPP primaries. And then, as you saw some of our colleagues in the region, we have deployed almost about 70 reporters across the 14 region where this primaries is going to be held. And they will go into the constituencies, sink into the minds of the delegates, and understand their voting pattern. Of course, as I mentioned, we're also going to do the analysis here in the studio and also help the viewers or those who are watching us get a better understanding, a better appreciation of the people that intend to seek for their mandate going forward into the December 7th poll.
Very important. And when you made the point about tapping into the minds of the electorate, I want to go to Erastus with that point, because Erastus, the Ashanti region will show really the popularity of this current government, won't it, ahead of the December elections? Would you agree that the number of incumbent MPs also who win is a sign that this government's performance has been endorsed by the electorate?
Well, that would be partially correct. I'm saying this because here in the Ashanti region is a stronghold of the New Patriotic Party. So the parliamentary primaries is a big deal. If you win that, then it's like an automatic win for you in the general elections, except for the orphan constituencies that we have, i.e. Aswanse constituency and the other areas. So that is why the parliamentary primaries poses such a major contest rather than the main contest itself. And so depending on the turnout, which of course is for delegates alone, you cannot use that as a very big measure of whether people are happy with the government or they are not happy with the government. But I guess the general elections and the euphoria that it will bring and the turnout will rather determine whether people are okay with the government or not.
Interesting thoughts there. Thank you so much, Erastus. And Parker, I wanted to add...
Yes, and to add on to what Erastus just said, not just for the NPP, but of course the main contenders, that is the NDC, also think that this primaries is a referendum on the performance of this government, because they are believing that a lot of the MPs will lose their seat. And if they lose their seat, what it means is that the electorate in general are losing confidence in the NPP, and it's going to be a referendum on their performance. So they are also watching. And then tomorrow, there's one thing we would like to do. We'll make sure that we put side by side the NPP and the NDC for each constituency and give you that understanding as to the two candidates who are going to seek for your mandate in the December polls. That
is a segment of the show that I cannot afford to miss. So it's going to be from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
To 9 p.m.
tomorrow. Thank you so much, Parker Wilson. He's on the political desk here at Joy News. And you heard from him. Tomorrow is an MPP parliamentary primary day. Every angle is covered. All the information is not missed. Before I go finally, Erastus, tell us about the infighting that we saw earlier. We know that Adansi Asoka had some controversy, some other constituencies. We'll get Erastus back and try and get an understanding of how the die has been cast in that aspect. Right, we move from this story in the meantime, and they are on a 24-hour alert, abandoning family to aid Ghana battle the coronavirus. But frontline workers at the Ghana East Municipal Hospital, one of the nation's treatment centers, say their biggest challenge now is stigma. Some of the women who spoke to my colleague PSA Nana Alsafo say taxi and Uber drivers often refuse them rides to and from work. They're calling on the president to seriously consider their transport issues. There's more of the human struggles in the following report.
When you come on night duties, all of you cannot sleep at a time, so we run a schedule. Sleep for 2 hours, then I also take up. So
you've heard stories about their sleepless nights.
The gynecological gloves that will straight to this place. That one we don't have it, and we are short of it.
You've heard stories about prolonged calls for adequate PPEs. But do you know they also live in fear of the virus?
They wanted you, the leader, to take the first step. So I didn't do it alone. I did it with one of my staff. So we went in there, put on our full PPE, while some of them stood there and observed. We received our patient, we went through the process I've told them, and it was safe. Then you realize that the confidence level started popping up.
Evelyn Naki Douna is Quality and Safety Manager, Infection, Prevention and Control at the Ghana East Municipal Hospital. She leads and is part of a team of health workers adopting various measures to treat coronavirus at the hospital. Over 400 of Ghana's cases have been treated here so far, with 89% of patients discharged. But the workers are human too, and when they get some free time, which they rarely do, they sometimes wish for the life outside.
At the time, the rainy season, people were like, hey, this weather and I'm here, my wife is there, you guys, you release some of us and let's go. So they call me, CCC, please can I go home? I say, no, you can't go home now.
They also crave better entertainment when all is said and done in their new home, making sure Ghana is not sick.
And the television will be and DSTV.
Our programs and listen to news in the Western countries, then we can learn and also hard on. We want something like that. People sharing their story, then we can look at our process. We need to modify something to make it the best. In fact, people send out WhatsApp messages, but if we are also hearing from the Western country, there's a meter, what is the effect, what is it happening? Let's see what is happening and how effective it has been. We want to work. And if possible, Nanado can rate for every Sunday or live band. Why not?
But most of all, they wish that the stigmatization will stop.
So does your family know you are doing this job?
Yeah.
And how did they take it?
From the beginning, I didn't let them know. Seriously, yeah. Because I didn't want them to get panic.
I have a little challenge. It's been with the Uber drivers. Sometimes you request for the Uber, the driver will get here, but when you get there, the driver is gone. You ask the security drivers, they tell you, they ask them, what, is it not here they keep the COVID patients? Then he just sped off. So please, the Uber drivers, we are not dangerous.
It gets worse.
It's the biggest challenge because I remember when it rained heavily, we were coming. The driver stopped and asked us to get out from the car. We had to carry our things and cross. In fact, it wasn't easy. He said if he knew we were coming here, he wouldn't have talked. So
they even ask you where you are before they even come. So when you say you are Ghanese, then they will laugh. They say, Mamina is where the patrol, where they mean to me. Then, so they will cancel the trip.
They have a request for the president.
Donate a big bus for the hospital to convey the staff, or they can dash some of us Picanto, we wouldn't mind.
In all, they remain unbroken in their resolve and work tirelessly in hopes of a COVID-free future. PSC Nanaya Osafo, Joy News.
We stay on the subject of healthcare, and healthcare seekers at Komfo Teaching Hospital would no longer have to walk long distances to buy medicine that are not captured under the National Health Insurance Scheme. It follows the implementation of a pharmacy to provide 24-hour service to members of the public who until now had to look elsewhere to buy prescribed medicines, especially at night. Officials say the new facility offers relief to ensure prompt attention to patients.
Chief Executive of Komfo Hospital, Dr. Oheneba Osudanso, explains introduction of the new 24-hour service is complemented by availability of drugs at the referral center.
Look at the statistics that were then available. In 2017, the general drug availability in the hospital was 41%. And then the emergency drug availability was 83%. The board and management has worked assiduously, and as I speak, the general drug availability for the hospital is 69%, and then the emergency drug availability is 93%. Thanks to this pharmacy, it has actually increased the scope of our items that are stocked here. The significant contribution made by this is not just the stocking of medicines, but also the financial outlay. We were having serious challenges as far as our medicines revenue is concerned. This is not to say that we are not dealing with health insurance medications. We have all the kinds of pharmacy shops or pharmacies in every directory that is serving all the insured medicines which are paid for by the National Health Insurance Scheme. But this one is a special purpose pharmacy to make sure that we do, from beginning to end.
Lydia Ajua Konadu is manager of the pharmacy. She explains the significance of the pharmacy in improving care for patients.
And as we know, all 24-hour pharmacy, they come in to close the gap of the non-insured drugs. We do a lot of the drugs on the essential drug list, but the 24-hour pharmacy comes in to bring in the innovators, and specifically those that are not on the insurance. If I have to do more of insurance drug, then I'll be competing with my own institutions. And then I also do a lot of non-drugs. I have cervical colitis, even up to chalotty, because people move in and ask. Definitely distance.
Now, the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Stephanie S. Sullivan, has joined Ghana's Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, to launch the Ghana Learning Radio Reading Program. The program was developed in response to the closure of over 25,000 primary schools nationwide due to the COVID-19 global pandemic. The radio program will engage parents, caregivers, and students through daily broadcasts to support and improve reading among Ghana's primary school-aged students. Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh performed the launch via Zoom.
Remember, it cannot take only government and health workers to keep you safe.
The beautiful color of Ghana's flag. I'm pleased to join you in the outdooring of this wonderful program. The radio is presented to the USA Ambassador to Ghana on launching of the Ghana Learning Radio, June 15th, 2020. I hereby second the opening and outdooring. Thank you very much.
And we apologize for bringing you the wrong insert there. That was Stephanie Sullivan, who was performing that launch via Zoom. You saw there Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh applauding her from his office in that virtual ceremony. So live on JoyNews today with me, Daniel Dazi. A lot more coming up, especially in business, where the customers of defunct financial institutions are blaming government for inaction in the repayment of their locked up funds. Stay with us. We'll be back.